Yo, what up? It's your boy, Zarek, aka Zedric the Entertainer.
You're muted, man.
Here at the Melanated Anime Club. Bring on the rest of the guys because Matt was already talking even before he's introduced.
Yeah.
What up, Matt and Wes?
What's up? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Matt, what have you seen? What did you Google while we were waiting to come on here? What did you just Google image search?
What's that hard stare?
Whose butthole are you looking at?
Oh, we lost him. Oh, you can't hear us?
We just did a test.
We were just okay.
Well, he just quit. What just happened?
Hopefully he'll be back.
Yep. Well, shit, dude. I guess it's just us. How has your week been?
It's been pretty good. I'm waiting on a desk to get delivered, but other than that, just trying to get my home office set up.
That's what's up.
Play some Pokemon, just grinding before the Elite Four right now on my Soul Silver Nuzlocke, and
you haven't started the ROM hacks yet, though. You haven't started your ROM hacks yet, though. You're still on the Nuzlocke.
I started the one that's labeled as like one of the hardest, like a couple days ago, but like I've just gotten like my starter and just moved around a little bit. Like, I want to finish my Soul Silver before I jump. Just hold. Yeah, because I'll forget about everything else if I just start something new, because that's my personality.
I feel that. Matt, can we hear you yet?
Should be.
Yeah.
We can hear him. Fuck.
I know it's upsetting at sometimes, but you know what? Sometimes I say really good things.
I have yet to see it.
Yeah, there's moments. It's just those nuggets of golden old man wisdom.
That's fair.
Man, I'm not old, but it does hurt.
Shit. Well, since Matt's back, should we jump straight into the One Piece review?
Yeah, but we should do the screed first too.
All right, I just want to throw this out here real quick. I know that we had like 2 people show up and then disappear. That was the Soge King song. He's Soge King from One Piece. You should look it up if you don't know who that is. And by me explaining it made you leave. Awesome. Let's get back into this. What are you looking at?
Okay. So this is the cover of Shonen Jump right here. New manga premiered this week.
Awesome.
There's 2 ones that premiered this week, right?
I think so, but I'm just stuck on this image right here because what am I looking at? Like, is he checking someone out like with a little scanner and a gun? Like, is he a convenience store worker? I don't get it.
You should just read it.
Yeah,
I guess I will read it.
You know what? There was a new manga that came out last week, Build King, and so I guess we're like in a phase of them kind of coming out.
I'm telling you right now, just read Sakamoto Days. It's great. Also,
Sakamoto Days. Yeah. Okay. We'll just put a pin in that for later.
Yeah. Zarek, did you read it?
Have I read what?
Sakamoto Days. Have you read it?
Not yet, no.
All right, cool. I know you're going to love it because we talked about something very similar.
Okay. Because I don't know. I read Mashal, and it's getting like starting to get deep in Mashal, which I like. But let's get into One Piece. Let's get into what the people came here to see.
Okay. So we start off with more some more requested fan art here for the cover page. We have Blackbeard and a hippo brushing their teeth.
Yep.
Classic.
Just why?
Well, it's not the first one we haven't seen. The first time we've seen hippos.
Is it the first time we've seen hippos? No.
It is not. It's also not the first time we've seen hippos on a cover page.
That's true.
Okay.
People do request a lot of hippos. Now,
Yeah.
I will say that this is very important because everyone knows that pirates are susceptible to scurvy, and so it's important that they brush their teeth. Also,
What?
Yeah.
I just want to throw this out here that we do have a watcher, and they were just saying Matt doesn't know how to say "you're already dead" in Japanese.
I don't know why that's important, but I do appreciate that fan coming.
And he wants to make sure that he knows that you're fraudulent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, cool.
I want to make sure that Michael Van.
Do you know how to say that phrase?
What?
What? See, you weren't even paying attention. Doesn't even matter.
Oh, you mean Omaiwa Shindaru?
Oh, God damn it.
Ooh, got you.
Is that the basic phrase you're asking me to say?
It's not a basic phrase. And also,
Oh, you mean
that is kind of a basic
You
phrase
mean
for
like
me.
one of the first phrases in anime you learned if you grew
no,
up
it's
in the
not.
90s?
No, it was not. It was Kamehameha was the first phrase you learned in.
That's not even a phrase. It's the name of a technique. Stop it.
Yeah, it is. That's a phrase.
It's not even pronounced correctly.
It's the name of a Hawaiian king, actually.
Actually, yeah, it is what name of a Hawaiian king, actually.
So
Kamehameha.
if we're being accurate.
But this person also is a bit of a mush mouth, so they didn't pronounce it correctly either. So I couldn't hear it. So I also didn't get the reference, probably because I don't know the reference. So
How are you in a goddamn anime club and don't know Fist of the North Star?
is what?
How are you in the goddamn Melanated Anime Club?
Right.
One of the key founding members.
Yeah.
Don't know Fist of the North Star.
Oh, because it's an old one that I watched a
From
long
your childhood. From your childhood, bro.
No mistake.
That was your Dragon Ball. That was your
Heavy
Dragon
Metal.
Ball.
Also, Lupin. Also, there's a lot there. That's all I'm saying. And
Heavy Metal is not an anime. That's an American titty cartoon, and you know it.
Is it? Because I just need that clarification because I've been.
It might be a European titty cartoon. I could be wrong.
Okay, all right. We're getting off topic. I love it. I'm wrong. I love these tangents, but let's get back to the
It's
chat.
Zarek's fault. Zarek's fault. Hippo's on the cover.
It's on my side. That's all I'm saying.
I'm glad that we're getting some interaction. I love this.
It does make the show better.
Even if it's just trolling, it's lovely.
It's great. Almost like that guy's an MVP of something.
He's gonna. I'm sure he's a future guest of the show. We'll have him roast. We'll hit him, Roman. We'll get the whole crew just to do. We'll do a roast of Matt for chapter 1000. We'll do a roast of Matt.
No, let's not. Let's not do that.
That sounds.
All right, for the New Year's special. You heard it here first. Melanated Anime Club. We'll do this. We'll do January 2nd. January 3rd. That's a Sunday. January 3rd. You want to come on the Melanated Anime Club? You want to get on here? You want to roast Matt for being Matt? I got my own joke, so I'm not going to give that away from you to you guys. So you guys come with your own. Wes knows what my material. Wes knows what my material is, but if you want to come through, just message me. I'll get all the social media stuff up at the end. Let me know if you want to come on and just live stream roast Matt for the new year.
I do owe Rahman the work for saying I don't know One Punch Man.
That's true. And
Rahman, he calling you out specifically, and I will make sure I tag you in this so you can see this.
Dang it! I did do that. That was
you just did that to yourself. You know what you did. You know you fucked up.
Y'all are setting me up, and you know it. And I don't appreciate it because it is kind of funny.
See?
Well, January 3rd. Come get him from his words. January 3rd.
Oh, God. You know what?
This will be after chapter 1000.
Yeah. You know what? Tidbit. I named my rubber plant Luffy, and it's dying.
Damn.
How do you feel about because it's not a fake, it's a real. I got you.
Yeah, it's a rubber plant.
Not like a plant made of rubber. I feel you. All right, cool. Let's get back to the chapter review. We done lost it.
Yes. All right. Let me know what works better here if I need to full screen this or not. Or zoom in.
Yeah, I'd say go full screen it.
Full screen.
It might already be in full screen. Yep, it was. But this might be a little better since it's zoomed in. Okay, so we're back. In our last chapter, Otama saved the day.
Yep.
She really did. She came through at the last second, saving Nami and Usopp at the It was such a great entrance. I think top 10 entrances in Wano.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say.
In Wano.
And then we're back at that scene, and our lion dog and Otama are getting Usopp and Nami out of there, and little Pepe and Alti are just like, what is going on? Bite that dog now.
Yo, I'm gonna be 100. I was very surprised that we came back to this so quickly. I feel like we're so used to when something big happens at the end of the chapter of it not being immediately addressed.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool that we just kind of came right back to this.
Oh yeah, because it was just like you could not like see what happens right after that entrance. So I'm glad that they did that. And then we're checking in on Usopp and Nami here. Usopp, are you all right? And
Ooh, someone's upset.
no, of course you're not all right. But let's focus on the positive. I'm fine.
We gotta stick with the review. Gotta stick with the chapter review.
Oh God. Okay. And then Otama, how'd you get here? We got around with the enemy. How'd you do that? Well, I'm just gonna assume she used those little cheat fruits to enslave everyone and take over an enemy ship. Because what else would you do? What is going on?
I just saw this and I got real excited for January 3rd.
Oh no. I'm sorry. I was looking straight at the chapter. I'm not seeing any of these comments right now. This is gonna be fun. But back to this chapter, Otama has gotten like a large baboon on her side, and that's helping them escape.
Yeah, it's the baboon from the first when Luffy first joined.
Oh shoot! It's been so long. I forgot what it even looked like.
Yep.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I want to say that there's something here that I feel like a little bit of that Oda foreshadowing.
What's that?
Oh, okay.
Okay, because who did Zoro train with when he was in the time skip?
Mihawk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And what was Mihawk's training regimen?
Fighting baboons
every day.
Sword fighting baboons. All right, let's keep going.
Okay. Well, let's just keep that in mind.
All right.
It's gonna come back to play. Just at some point, it's gonna come back to play. I bet.
So they're all here as samurai, and they're here to fight. That's pretty much the end of this page right here. All right, and then we switch places, and we're back here with what's that? Oh yeah, Yamato, Odin, whatever you want to call them, whatever moniker they're going by at the moment, and they are just putting in work against these armored cores and getting shot at the same time. I'm surprised like they're still up, like they're taking cannons to the face. Let's see.
I think that's just straight up her lineage. Like she just took, what was it, 20 something bazookas?
Yeah. To the face. And I mean that's Kaido's lineage right there.
Yeah,
so
ultimately that is Kaido's kid. Like
yeah.
But damn, yeah.
And then we have Shinobu here saying, "You there? If you're a samurai, make up your mind. Abandon me and save Lord Momonosuke."
Right.
And then Kazuki Odin would never do that.
And then he starts crying.
Yeah. But I love this next moment because, like, again, I feel like this guy Sakazaki or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like ultimately he's gonna turn and be like a solid. Like he's gonna be on our side. I think I get the vibe from him.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like he was so pissed off about Denjiro flipping that ultimately he's gonna be like, "Oh, I see where you're coming from, boss. Let's go do this." Like I have a feeling.
I don't know.
No, because there's no way that like all six. You telling me all six of the Toby Roppo, the X Drake is the only one that's like not loyal?
No, obviously, who isn't loyal? He has
right. But I'm saying like, no, this guy is like ultra loyal. He's
you think this guy's ultra loyal? Okay.
Yeah. He's oblivious to stuff.
I don't think any of the Toby Roppo are totally loyal.
Black Maria is 100% loyal to Kaido, is my guess.
Okay, fair enough. But I think they're all still opportunists.
Man, they're pirates.
Like most pirates, yeah.
I would like to take a moment just to realize, to say this, that Matt is talking shit in the private chat, and he's not saying it out loud to y'all.
The whole couch to 5K head ass Roman.
Yeah, you didn't send that to Roman. You sent that to
No,
us.
it was privately because I was joking with y'all. But if Roman want to hear it, I can send it directly to him.
I didn't see that.
I mean, if you click on comments in the
Yeah.
top right, you can get involved in the comments.
Because you were. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Wow, I didn't even know this was a thing. See.
Let's go back to the chapter review. Wes.
Yes. Okay, you're just throwing new things at me. Okay, Sakazaki says, if you think you can protect the dead weight and still defeat me, I take that as an insult. And starts to unsheath the sword. Go down. And then I can't go on losing my superb armor division because Yamato has really been taking them out. See the sword getting unsheathed. And then look who comes in.
Yo, this is a great entrance, I think.
Oh, Frankie just running up. Stomp.
I bet he sounds like a big old robot train running.
I get that.
But dude, I was actually laughing because I was just like, "What is this ha cha cha that we keep like seeing?" It took me a second to remember what's going on.
Yeah, because Frankie shows up. That's you, Momo? Oh, I know who that is. It's Luffy's companion. And then you gotta throw out Frankie's bounty for some reason. I mean, it's pretty impressive, but still a little random. And then we have that number, Hakacha, just coming in here and wrecking shit in front of everybody. It's
Yep.
fun.
All right.
It's destroying the floor.
Yep. I want to talk about two things real quick.
Go ahead.
That page. One, we get a glimpse into the potential fruit that Yamato has, but also I think we potentially see a special blade being revealed, like one of the rare blades, and Sasaki owns it, and it's going to be the type that separates, kind of like the guy from Bleach.
Oh, okay.
Like the whip sword, like from I guess Soul Calibur is the one that comes to mind first for me. But
yeah. So like between those two, I think that's pretty like because he looks scared, and it looks like Yamato's about to start getting serious.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we could be getting some hints there.
Yeah,
now, I do see what you're talking about with the sword because that pattern is very unique. I don't think I've seen that on any sword.
Yeah, that's not just any sword.
But what devil fruit are you thinking is being foreshadowed here?
Yeah, I don't get that.
Based on the teeth, I'm thinking something tiger, but also maybe a Kirin.
Wait, for Sakazaki?
No, for Yamato.
Oh, you're saying that this right here is Yamato's face?
Yes.
That is not Yamato's face.
Swear to God, it is.
Oh, this is not very clear. I will say that.
I see hair right there.
It could be either one, but I originally thought it was Sakazaki's face.
I did too. Went back and read. Sakazaki does not have bruises on his face.
Oh.
Wait, go back a page.
No bruises, and his teeth are bigger. Like you can see,
the incisors come from the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's
wait. So could that? Who else is here then?
Nobody. No one that we would see a close up on their face. No one important enough for that.
No one who's been punched in the face a lot either.
I mean,
burns and soot.
Because there's some other like smile users and stuff in there, but like I don't think we would focus up on any one of those randoms like at this moment.
Nope.
Yo, is that Momo?
No,
because Momo was getting the shit beat out of
hair. You can see the hair. That's gotta be Yamato.
I don't think that's hair.
You know what? It could be, you know who it could be? It could be that Kunichi.
Shinobu?
Yeah, it could be Shinobu.
I'd say it's more Yamato than Shinobu.
I don't think it's Yamato. I think it's going to be a great reveal of who that is.
Okay, well, all right, we can move on then.
Motto.
But thanks for pointing that out, Matt.
You're welcome. Pops be seeing stuff.
All right.
Everything though.
Then we get back to here where Hakacha, one of the biggest numbers we've seen, has just busted a hole in the floor, and everybody's falling down.
Seriously, because it released air up above it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And then we have a little funny moment here where everybody introduces themselves like, "Oh, Momo, Shinobu, are you okay?" And all right, we'll escape. And no, we're being rescued. Blah blah blah. Frankie the cyborg, take care of this. Luffy put me in charge of these two. And Frankie's just like, okay.
All right. I don't know who you are, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I super got this.
Yeah.
And then I can at least take out that one. And then boom, just some mega attack to Hachacha's like just chin.
It smacked Yamato smacked baseball style one of those broken floor pieces back into his chin, which proceeded to knock him out.
Yeah,
it's pretty dope.
It's amazing.
That's pretty dope.
It was hockey infused too.
Ooh.
So I'm thinking it could be potentially that advanced hockey where you can
send your
Yamato's demonstrated that before.
Yeah, the Luffy hockey,
the new one that Luffy just learned.
The one that Luffy had to learn to take off the shackles that they couldn't. So she learned that from watching Luffy.
She learned that from watching Luffy.
Okay.
Specifically, before Luffy even showed up on the island.
How come she couldn't take off her own things?
It's a different application.
She was scared.
I think you're reaching, Matt. I think you're reaching.
The what? Reaching on the hockey? No, it's right there. It's in the frame. When she swings, you're not playing.
Hold on. Okay. Yeah. There's
No, I see the crackles for sure.
Yeah, the crackles.
Yeah.
So like I won't say that's for Yo. That's just
she could just have conkers, yeah.
All right, so
but to the face.
All right, so Hachacha's knocked out, and Frankie's like, "Did that mystery person just do that? Who the hell was that?"
Which that's such a great thing. Like, I don't know who you are, but that person's amazing.
That was cool.
Yeah. And quick wasting time. Yeah, let's go after them. And
also, one-shotted one of the numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know what number Hacha is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've only seen that done by X Drake and Luffy.
Yeah. Right. So,
all right.
No area about.
Well, let's get back down there because there's a very important dialogue that happens.
Yes. Yamato says to Momonosuke that you must survive. It is imperative that you survive. You're the one that must guide the world to the dawn. So let's stop here for a second. Mm-hmm. We've all thought that this is supposed to be Luffy. Now, why does Yamato think that it's Momo?
Probably because
there are some similarities between Momo and Luffy.
I think he read the journal from Odin.
Oh.
And there's some phrasing in there, potentially like the future he wants for his child, probably. Leading new Wano.
I think that, like, yeah, I feel like Momo is going to be, like, very important to this, like, for sure. I feel like as soon as we got the Momo's being protected by Luffy moment back in Punk Hazard, I think we kind of already knew that something big was going to happen there. Now, as far as the Dawn goes, I feel like Luffy becoming the Pirate King is what happens that starts the whole process of the Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
So I could definitely see a situation be like Luffy's the king of the pirates. Momo becomes like the king of Wano, or what becomes viewed as like the free world. And then maybe someone else takes over as like the king of what used to be like the world government, probably like a Sabo type of situation. Maybe even like a Sanji type of situation could probably fit in there.
Sanji, I was thinking more maybe Kobe.
Well, Kobe makes sense. Kobe makes sense too, but like I'm just trying to think of where like the Straw Hats would go. Like in my dream, like this is over. We talked about it. Luffy dies with a smile on his face, and the next era happens. Mm-hmm. Like in my version, in my mind, Dr. Chopper's a Yonko in that future world. Like Dr. Chopper is probably like what Shanks is, the current Yonko. Like if they're gonna do like a Boruto type of situation, of this, like that would be what I imagine.
Interesting.
Every Yonko is from a previous Yonko ship.
Right. Exactly. And then like Zoro would essentially like slide into that Silver Israeli where people think he's dead, but we all know he's alive type of situation.
He's just off.
Like, I don't know. I see Usopp becoming like, if he doesn't die and become a hero in that sense, and like, the legend of Usopp in like because Usopp what has Usoland in Skypiea where they have like the amusement park. He has the dwarves like have that whole thing for him where they're like he's like their hero, God Usopp. Yeah. And then there's another one where I feel like there's like an unnecessarily like large fan club for Usopp that I'm blanking on right now.
The Tontadas?
That was the dwarves, yeah. I can't think of it, but I'm sure it'll come back. But let's that was I forgot what the question was, but I got off on a tangent. My fault.
No, we were talking about the Dawn. And that got you over there. Okay.
Yeah. So I do think that like Momo will be the leader of the people. If we believe that Luffy's gonna die to help get there, and that's like the will of D and all that stuff, that like Momo would be the one to carry it on, kind of makes sense.
Speaking of the will of D, as we go into this next panel,
nice segue.
Yeah, right. We find another carrier of the D name who we try to figure out where is he for the longest. We finally figure out where Trafalgar Law is. He's in the second basement floor. And then we have kind of a flashback here to Corazon, Doflamingo's brother, for those who don't remember.
Breaking backstory.
Yeah, that was tough.
They're all very tough, but this one was a particularly tough one because it was a lot of layers of fucked upness.
Yeah. Put his foot in that one.
Like, just they sacrificed a whole town full of doctors for profit. Wild.
Yep. So, very real world.
And we get a reminder that the people of D are known as the enemies of the gods.
Who are the gods?
Celestial dragons, Tenryubitu, whatever you want to call them.
My true name is Trafalgar D. Waterlaw, which is a boss-ass name.
I think that water was added.
No, I think so.
No, water was there before.
It was.
It's always been Trafalgar D. Waterlaw.
Okay.
But from what I'm gathering and from what I understand, and again, I am like our residential Japanese culture expert, but I am not a Japanese cultural expert.
Yes.
Let's just like throw that out there. But from what I'm gathering, like from what I know from playing like Yakuza games, visiting Japan, is like if something's like a water industry, it's usually like a code for like sex work. Yeah, so like it's like a thing. Like if you go to like a soap land or like a water spot or water massage, it's usually like something of the sex work nature being in there. So I feel like that may be somewhere in here.
An allusion to where he came from, escaped from.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Maybe. That's dark, but all right, I'll take it.
Like the water.
Also,
like, just in your spare time, it's like the water trade, and then you can see how fucked up that is.
All right.
It's a huge also,
I wish I didn't know.
The water trade is likely one of those underworld people's main businesses that were introduced during Whole Cake Island arc.
And what do we all assume that Black Maria is?
Coruscant.
Yep.
Wait, what word did you just say?
Coruscant?
Courtesan.
I thought is he saying Coruscant like the planet from Star Wars?
No, courtesan.
No.
Courtesan is the word.
Thank you. It is courtesan. I said Coruscant.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you.
Just to confirm that you said that, to make sure that you agree to it, I agree to it. It's wrong.
Yes.
Love it. It's not an episode unless we get like 3 of those from it.
Yeah.
He's gonna work hard.
Hops, you never do.
Continue on. Next page. We still get some flashbacks here to Law talking to, that's Robin, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. I'm stunned. You have the name of D as well. You're the only one I could tell this. Thank you. But thank you for your trust, but I don't have the answers for you. Luffy may not care, but I find the D name to be fascinating, like the rest of us. So the only way is to follow the redstones. So they're looking for the red poneglyphs.
Right.
And that means you gotta beat all the emperors are Yonko.
Yep.
And that's not one. He's looking for it. But then he talks to Corazon, saying he's made up his mind. He wants to know the meaning of his checkered fate.
And I'm saying that's his bit
Foreshadowing.
full of nakama.
Now I wanna check out something here. So I mean, we're assuming that he's come in here, he's found this poneglyph. It's not a red poneglyph, so it's just like one of like the history poneglyphs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my question is this flashback with Robin. When did this happen? Is this on Fishman Island? Is this in Wano?
I don't know.
Is she seen this poneglyph?
It looks like it might be Wano.
It looks like it does look like Wano because didn't they hole up in that?
Yeah, no, for sure.
For a while? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's like, did she see this poneglyph? Did she read it? Did she translate it for him? Like,
I don't think so.
Because wasn't she caught sneaking around here at one point?
She was caught sneaking around in
Orochi's castle. Yeah.
Yes, that was not on Onigashima.
Are they? I mean, they're on Wano. Are they on Onigashima? You know what I mean? Like in the flashback picture. There's a lot of questions that kind of pin on when did this happen. You know what I mean?
I do think it's a flashback to even before all the events that happened in, like just the buildup we've had. Like
because they're still in like their regular clothes. They're not even in like their Wano disguises.
Yeah,
that's why when
they first got there, likely.
So this is like before Luffy showed up on Wano back when.
That makes sense.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Okay, I can buy that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's there by himself, and he realizes he didn't find the road poneglyph. He found a historical one, but that also means both Yonko have both a historical and a road poneglyph.
That's not true. It just may be that like, because again, we don't know where they are like right now, and like one of the things I've always kind of because they have 3 of the road poneglyphs now or 4.
3. I believe it's 3 because one from Big Mom, one in on Zoe, and maybe just 2.
I think it's just 2.
Was it Fishman Island or
there wasn't a red one on Fisherman Island that I remember? I think there was
Fishman Island and Skypiea didn't have it. The first road poneglyph was Zoe.
Yeah, and then we got the next one from Whole Cake Island.
Okay.
Yeah, the rubbing.
The rubbing, yeah.
Right, but didn't Big Mom have 2 poneglyphs? One red, one historical.
No,
I mean, if you count the one in Fishman Island under Big Mom's territory, which it was at the time,
no.
Yes, but no, I don't think there was more than one.
I don't think there was more than one on Whole Cake Island. I think just the road poneglyph was there.
Anyway,
but there's 2 more road pony. I mean, to me, it would make sense if like one of the Yonko didn't have a poneglyph. You know what I mean? Like Shanks doesn't have one, but he knows where it is and can protect it or something along those lines.
That would make sense because I could possibly see Blackbeard having one, but then again, what would his use of it be? Because he's already like
he's looking for him, yeah.
OE.
Well, he would have taken him. I mean, that would imply that he would have taken it from Whitebeard at some point if he has a poneglyph. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, yeah. There's still a lot to be revealed here.
I think Marco's gonna explain some shit when he meets like Robin. I think he's gonna get. That's the thing is I think whenever they meet like Chopper, they're gonna deal with some medical thing. When they meet Robin, some historical thing's gonna happen. When they meet up,
everyone has to play to their strengths. I got it.
Like there's gonna be like a damsel in distress, and Sanji's gonna be like, "Oh, this is what I'm here for." Like you know how this works,
right?
Okay. So another character we haven't seen in a while just showed back up on the 3rd floor, and a bunch of weapons are being stolen from people. So it can only be Captain Eustace Kid, or Eustace Captain Kid, whatever you want to say. I'm not sure of the exact moniker here. And do we have enough killer? He's got so many weapons behind him.
He's got every piece of loose metal in that building following him, including still some being worn by the people behind him.
Yeah, it's utterly ridiculous. Kid's power. That's why he's one of the.
And I just love Killer. That's just like, yeah, let's get it. Like he's like full on. Like I have this thing now. Like let's just get it over with.
Yeah,
like,
he leaned in fully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's leaned into the smile. I mean, what else are you gonna do when there's no cure?
Yeah.
Our enemy's the world's strongest pirate. You can never have too much. And then go to the top of Onigashima of the Skull Dome, back to Kaido and the Scabbards, and Kaido just looks so like, like I'm putting in work. He's back down to his base form from Dragon, and he is just, he looks like he's just knocking the fuck out of everybody. Like you see Dendro get, not Dendro, but what's his name?
Kinemon.
No, not Kinemon. Right here.
Oh.
Was that Dendro?
It's Dendro. That's
Dendro gets one stab in, but just immediately gets hit afterwards. Everybody's down. Everybody's down. Say again?
Dragging his club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like Kaido has just been, it's hard to watch. We just get that brief look at what's going on the top floor, and then we're back at the performance floor, and Big Mom shows up.
Big Mom's back. Yo,
all the entrances this episode, they're crazy.
It's good. I love this next shot though of the reaction shots. This is just fucking money.
It's just like, why this? And like don't worry, I'm not in what's going on.
Half Ice Oni Dr. Chopper, just like the fuck, like just the look on him.
He's just fighting through that, man.
He's like trying to process this. He is like the secret of the cure in his mind, and he's just like, "Whoa, Big Mom, shut up!" But Big Mom does owe Dr. Chopper from earlier.
I think these panels really call out what Ramon is talking about. How Oda is really good at keeping things busy but distinct.
Wow, that's a nice line. I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's busy, but everything's very clear. In comparison, at least personally, Hunter x Hunter was just busy for no damn reason a lot of times.
There's in Hunter x Hunter, there's just so much dialogue text that just takes up everything else. For me.
True.
I like the lore in Hunter x Hunter, as far as like the anime goes. I think it does that well with the manga. I really do appreciate the clutteredness of it. Because they don't do it all the time. Like in Hunter x Hunter, they really only do it to show, this Hunter exam's chaos, so it looks like chaos. Yeah. Where in York City, everything's wild, so everything looks wild. Mm-hmm. Like if you're reading, they're in those tiny cramped boats where everyone's packed. It seems like there's a lot going on because it's luxury and opulence and all that stuff. But when they're on Greed Island, it was kind of minimal, and I felt like that did a really good job of showing the details of the world building. And it's it does seem like especially Hunter x Hunter, it seems like they put a lot of stuff in, but it's all they did this big shot of York New City before they really explained what it is, or Meteor City, should I say. So where they all come from before they really kind of delve into it. And it's very the background of everything. But as they tell more of the story, if you look back on those panels, that's the little thing that was the reason that the mummy tape guy had his mummy tape. It was because of these things. It was always this is a small thing that made Shalnark. This is where he grew up. You could tell because of the other people that are kind of wearing the similar gear as him. It's it was very complicated. It wasn't as random as it seemed, though, if that makes sense. It was truly world building.
Okay. I knew that.
Yeah. Also, I'll talk about. There's a fun little Hunter x Hunter reference in something I'll talk about later.
Cool. Okay. So, like I was saying before, Big Mom is just I'm not interested in what's going on here. I'm going up to where Kaido is.
Yeah.
Which that's just more shit to deal with. If she's really gonna bypass all this and try to get to the roof, what's that look like?
Well, what does she do when she gets to Kaido? That.
Yeah. Does she fight Kaido, or does she join him? It's
I think the scabbards are down, and then she double crosses.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No sense, but sure.
I'd love to see it, honestly. It just goes back to the Pirate Alliance's betrayal act.
Yeah, I mean, didn't she come here to take out Kaido? I mean, didn't Kaido say, if you come to my island, I'll take off your head? Isn't that?
Yeah.
And she came to the island to kill Luffy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Speaking of Luffy.
Yeah. So we're on the middle of the second floor. Back to our trio here of Luffy, Jinbei, and Sanji. So
the real monster trio. The real monster trio.
We're not gonna disrespect Zoro like that.
Thank you.
Zoro's his own trio, though.
Yeah, okay. If you want to bring Ashura, fine. I see what you're doing there.
There you go.
Nah,
And then I
he's the
know
demon trio.
like, they're like, can you hear that? And Sanji's like, hear what? And this is
so good.
Black Maria. It's Black Maria and all the other courtesans. Like,
Nope.
they're on the next floor up, and Sanji can hear them.
Nope.
No.
I don't think so.
No. What do you think?
I think it is. Well, Z, you go first.
Okay. So, I mean, the obvious thing is that yes, Black Maria and her army of courtesans have been marching around and disappearing, but there's a look of fear on Sanji's eyes.
Yes, there is.
It's not the look of
Like,
woman. It's the look of, oh, those are Okamas.
Yep.
So I'm thinking that there's going to be.
I think it's Ivankov.
And like Queen. Oh, I mean, Ivankov would be great, but Queen is an Okama, so it wouldn't be too far out of the mind to think that. I mean, that's the rumor, right? Like, at least when we first met him, that was kind of what people thought. So
it's definitely like someone has that guitar there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I figure it's Black Maria strumming. She had the.
No, I'm with you.
No, yeah, but there can be more than one of those guitars.
No, there is because
The
it could be Hiyori. That was I was gonna say too. Is like that could be why it's looking out. Like
this dialogue here.
Dialogue, exactly.
I feel like that's some Black Maria shit.
I think the dialogue is very much Ivankov. It's like, "Come, my dear," that's it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Right after strumming of music, and then she's like, "But my lord, you mustn't. It would be so naughty." I do believe she's referencing someone or whoever's saying this, and I believe it's Ivankov that's saying it.
Well,
but who's the Lord? That's what's confusing. Either way,
that's it.
It is Sanji using better application of Future Sight.
No.
Yes.
No.
Better application of Future Sight. He
No.
can way better.
If it's something about like sexy times or women, I could see Sanji having that one advantage. Like, I could see where Matt's coming from with it.
Asexual, so that wouldn't even be a thing.
What?
Said Luffy's asexual, so that wouldn't be a thing.
He can already do the Future Sight. He learned from Katakuri.
What? We're not okay. We're having two different conversations, Matt.
I started it.
I know, but then you like left it, I guess.
Oh God damn it! Y'all don't listen, I swear.
But yeah, so we'll find out next week.
Yeah.
There's no break.
There's no break.
There's no break.
Okay, so this is just kind of like a for you guys, but we're gonna make it next Sunday. We're gonna do it's a Thanksgiving weekend thing. We're gonna still be here next.
I'm not going anywhere. There's a pandemic.
That's fair. All right, cool. We'll still be here. So you're here first. We'll still be here next Sunday.
Yeah.
For your anime needs.
January 3rd, we're roasting Matt.
Yeah, January 3rd, the roast of Pops, aka Matt Kid.
I need a moniker for Pops, like Sannon or something.
How about Pervy Sage?
No.
You're so up for that. Why'd you?
But I still like it.
You can't be right because Jiraiya is awesome.
I know. He's my favorite.
Of course he is. Of course Jiraiya is your favorite.
Second only to Kakashi, but then again, I walked into that too.
Yeah.
But I love how Roman's been on for like the whole roast. Like,
yes, I love it.
Engagement is always fun.
I mean, you called him out, Matt, so it's only.
You called him out by name.
I called him out, but then other people texted him, which I shouldn't be shocked at all. But hey, they're the MVP.
He even put his address down, like for you to come.
He did straight up, just like you.
I pasted that. Trust me. I have that. I might be rolling up.
All right, well, get us on the live stream for that. Put it on the
6 feet though.
You'll just yell at each other for like a good half an hour.
When does Roman not yell?
I said you'll yell at each other. You're
When
both
did Ramon not yell?
Ramon's not yelled at me.
Lies.
He's never yelled at me.
Lies.
we've yelled. Roman and I have yelled at each other.
See?
Literally, someone thought we were in a fight one night at a bar. Actually, when we could go to bars. One night, we're literally arguing about Black Clover or My Hero Academia. And someone at the bar thought we were having like a heated argument, like we were about to come to blows. But
Yeah,
we were
Ramon.
about what we were talking about.
Oh,
Ramon gets that reaction out of folks. That's real. I can see that.
yeah. You
But
probably
at the same time, though,
hey, I like reading My Hero Academia and Black Clover, and then he comes back and Black Clover is trash. What is wrong with you?
okay. I mean, I don't know how anyone could say Black Clover is trash and be a fan of My Hero Academia.
Right, exactly.
But
I don't know how those two can trash.
that's fine. So no one said it to you. He just knew. He just knew. Man, kid, you got no chance. I can't wait till January 3rd. This is gonna be great.
Oh God, this
It's
is
so funny. It's always funny to me to watch professional comedians and improvisers get roasted by folks that don't perform because they know how to get them.
Oh, this is gonna be a good time.
My takedown's gonna be like very like, oh yeah, like you guys know me. I do this. I do comedy. Theirs is just like, man, fuck this dude. Matt kid's gonna die. Honestly, I like it.
I can't not laugh at it.
See?
It's kind of hard,
Respect the comedy.
but it also hurts. I pulled my oblique.
Okay, don't
No.
you're just giving him more ammo on this dog. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care.
all right, well, you know what? Let's take a break. I can tell Matt's all worked up.
I ain't
His back hurt. You know, I think it's been a little bit since we've done this, but this is a good old fashioned. If you got it, get it loaded, get it rolled up, whatever you got to do, because it's time for one of our world famous group puffs. So if you got it, let's get it. No. All right. That was for Ramon. Just that.
Don't die.
Yeah, don't die. And also, he could say that, still play devil's advocate just for the hell of it. And now he's texting. This is ridiculous.
No, I like
I think that's the notifications, honestly.
it's been a minute since I've like really like binged or read either of them. But if I honestly had to choose, I'm gonna pick Black Clover over My Hero Academia.
That's because you know. That's because you're not up to date.
I'm not,
All right.
I'm not up to date with either of them. I'm not up to date on either of them.
Oh,
I like Asta better than I like Deku.
it's gonna change. Your opinion gonna change. What? Oh God.
What's happening? Please. I know you're playing Yakuza, but you gotta get
What was the last thing you read in My Hero? And what was the last thing you read in Black Clover?
Last thing I read in My Hero was they were starting the invasion. Okay, so Gentle Criminal,
Mm-hmm.
he had just like snuck in to the UA. That's where I left on that one. And then, geez, I think with Black Clover, I think it ended kind of as they. Fuck, I forgot Homeboy's name, but Asta's
rival,
yeah, yeah. So like the people that were secretly elves, like became elves, and then they got everything under control, and they're like, "What the fuck's happening?" And that's about where I ended with that.
Ooh.
But
And I know they both have gone through very big things both since. So,
And I'm thinking just based off what's happens is like it's kind of a push for which one you need to read.
well, I'll say this: I'd say I like Black Clover more because I like the setup of Black Clover more.
mhm.
I like that they're teams of superpowered people. I like that. I mean, they started like the first like maybe 50 chapters are pretty much the same story. I don't have superpowers. I worked on something to get myself super strong. I can still hold my own in this world. Blah blah blah.
Mhm.
I want to be the best at this. I'm not even close, but someone believes in me and I can do it now. Like
Right.
all that shit's the same. So I would say that I like the Black Bulls. I like the whole like concept of like the lovable losers. I love I love like the different factions within there. I like the elemental aspect of everything that they have there. I don't know, just something about Black Clover catches my attention. Like the whole like the 3-leaf clover, the 4-leaf clover, where it's luck plus pluck or whatever. Like that was like dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
And then his is like, you know, the 0 or whatever, like his like the 5 sword or whatever. It's just, and I know that you've told me that like they've explained what Austin's powers and stuff come from now at this point. But I like the figuring out. Like I love that aspect of like, where do my powers come from? Who am I? What is this stuff? And then I just want to just kind of throw on a couple of things where Ramon agrees with me. That's all. Thank you. And I you know what? I will agree that if My Hero Academia wasn't so focused on Deku, I would enjoy that more. If it was the story of
everyone gets
read, man.
Just keep reading. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. There are more interesting backstories that come along if you keep reading past Gentle Criminal.
Yes.
No, I believe it.
Oh God, that
also there's very little that's making me want to like keep going with everything going on in the world. Like,
okay,
like reading. I don't know. I feel like reading Mashal is more entertaining or captivating for my time than trying to binge 100 chapters to catch up on something you guys say is so great, and by the time I get there, I'm going to be burned out.
You know what? If that's your view, I'm not gonna like try to convince you. You'll do this at your own pace. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it at my own pace. Exactly.
We just won't be able to talk about it on our show about anime.
Yeah,
that's fine.
You're just gonna limit us to one thing that you read.
That's fine. You want to talk about Fist of the North Star?
God, no.
It's been so long.
You want to talk about any of the original anime? You only want to talk about the anime that's about the last 5 years?
Educate the people about history of anime, because many things used today are references to previous anime. Isn't that right, Zarek, the Entertainer?
Zedric the Entertainer is my stage name. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And then also, all anime is a ripoff of Astro Boy. If you want to get down to that, like,
we're not going that, man. That's
we're not going that.
Gundam's a ripoff of Astro Boy. Dragon Ball's a ripoff of Astro Boy.
Okay, if you really want to say that, everything's a ripoff of Journey to the West.
Well, Journey to the West is the original story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like Journey to the West is based off of like an even older Mesopotamian story, but
everything's based on something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We're not original.
There's only 7 stories that can be told. I don't know if you've ever taken one of those writing classes. I don't know. I've taken a number of like TV writing or script writing classes where they're like, there's only 7 stories: a love story, a tragedy, a comedy, like, and it's just like there's only 7 of them, and everything's a variation of them. So
he makes a good point. 5 chapters a week. That's 1 a day.
Okay.
And honestly, when you sit down and read 1 chapter, you'll probably read like 5.
That's the thing, is like when I sit down, I'll read a bunch of them, but I'm not really sitting down to read manga too often these days.
Why not?
Because Yakuza.
I'm trying to Yakuza. I'm trying to like live. I don't have a day job, so I'm hustling, trying to find ways to make money. Like,
yeah,
I like to eat. There's priorities.
I mean, got a whole wife.
Wife's been working out and dieting and shit. Surfing, even though I put the board away for a little bit because
cold.
No, well, it's because it's getting cold, and like I'd have to get like a wetsuit, and I'm like, I don't want to spend like another $150 into that right now when I can spend that towards something else. And then also I want to clear out that corner because in like 4 days we're gonna put up the Christmas stuff. So
it's gonna be a nice backdrop.
Yeah, I applied for this gig as a virtual mall Santa.
Oh wow!
Or a Zoom Santa. So pretty much just try to make this a little bit more Christmassy if I get it. And hey kids, you know how it works. So that'd be a fun gig.
Yeah.
Hope I get it. Dope. So let's talk about other shit for a minute here. So as y'all know, I've been playing Yakuza. I'm probably going to be playing it. I think I'm in like the 50 to 60 hours-ish zone in it now at this point. Yeah, I've been playing And it's like I'm sure I could finish the storyline by now if I wanted to, but I just love like the side stories, side missions. This version is different because it's like a turn-based RPG, so like you're building a party, and like party bonding is definitely a thing that wasn't in previous Yakuza games. There's like a lot of things where like you walk by with like certain members of your party, and they'll like trigger little like conversations about the city. And there's one specific one where Ichiban Kasuga, the main character, he's pretty much like his main story. So his story is like at the beginning he gets arrested for something someone else did, takes the fall for him. When he gets out, he's seemingly betrayed by his family, and that's what we're trying to figure out what's going on. Like that's the plot. And so we got to this point where he's like walking around, and they're like, I guess they walk by like a manga shop or something along those lines, and he was like, "Oh man, like yeah, when I was in jail, like I was in jail for so long, I wanted to see how my favorite manga was doing. I was surprised to see that it was still going on." And then somebody replies, "Well, like, oh man, with like a long running manga like that, there's got to be like almost 1,000 chapters at this point." Like obviously to me is a One Piece reference, but he goes, "Oh no, like I came back, it was still going, but the artist has been taking a lot of hiatuses. So actually I caught up really quickly, and I don't know when it's coming back." So I just thought that was a very good. I thought it was a One Piece reference. It's a Hunter x Hunter reference.
Yeah,
made me smile pretty big in that moment.
That's
But the whole thing about this one is like the older Yakuza games, when it was like Kiryu, it was kind of that like I'm a tough guy, and it was like the like tough guys don't play video games and like nerdy things. While this guy, like in this reboot, like he's very much like, oh, I grew up playing Dragon Quest, so my entire worldview is like, you guys are my party. I'm the mage. These guys are the bad guys. Like, that's the structure how it does that. So it's a love story to other video games, as I said in the past. There's like some Pokemon like references where you meet a dude, and like as you start fighting people, it tracks who you fight, and it's like the Suji Dex. It's like a Pokédex, obviously. And like you got to track them all. Like it's not catch them, but you got to track them all. It's like it's very stupid. There's literally like Dragon Kart, which is a Mario Kart kind of thing. And the more I play, the more there's like little nods and like nudges to other video games, including all of the Yakuza games have like a Sega arcade, and they'll always have like some kind of like old school, Sega stuff that you can play. Mm-hmm. This is probably the most in-depth one for sure. And the coolest thing is they have like Hang On, like Outrun, like a lot of like the classic like Sega games, but they also have a full version of Virtua Fighter 2, which in the arcade game took a lot of my quarters in the back in the day. And then they also have a full version of Virtua Fighter 5, which I haven't played, but it's like one of the later Virtua Fighters. So if you like those games, you can full on get those.
Isn't that insane? How you bought a full blown game, and they put 2 more full blown games.
Well, there's more than 2. There's more. Like if you go to the arcade, there's like I said, Outrun, Space Hanger On, or Space Harrier. Like there's just like all of those, 80s era Sega arcade games.
Nice.
And actually, I was watching something recently because they're doing the big like 60 years of Sega, and they did an interview with like the creator of Yakuza, and like one of the questions they had asked him was, if you got to work on any other Sega property that you haven't got to work on before, what would it be? And he said he'd work on Sonic. He'd take it in a whole different level, a different place. But kind of watching it and like listening to him kind of talk about things, I realized that like I have been a Sega kid my entire life, like with the exception of the 64, because the Saturn, who was going to buy the Saturn in the States? No one. But every video game console I've purchased has been influenced by Sega. I remember my first console was a Genesis. I remember going to like Target or Best Buy and playing the demos and being like, Sega's like Sonic is so much cooler than Mario. I remember that as a kid. I remember, like I said, growing up, I couldn't play bloody games or games with guns. So right. Like 2D fighting arcade games were like my thing, and I couldn't play Mortal Kombat. So I was a Street Fighter kid for sure, but I enjoyed Tekken, don't get me wrong, but I remember when Tekken and Virtua Fighter first came out, they were kind of like pitted against each other. And I definitely was more of the Virtua Fighter camp than I was Tekken. Tekken hadn't like evolved into like what it's become. I feel like Tekken 3 is really when Tekken became like, that's fucking Tekken. You know what I mean?
It was Tekken 3 and Tekken Tag.
Tekken Tag, I argue it's more Tekken Tag now that you say that.
Yeah, see, I mean, you can't forget Tekken Tag. Like that was a whole like generation of gamers right there playing Tekken.
Yeah. No, Tekken Tag was it because Tekken Tag Tournament I think was like the game that had like all the mini games and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like the bowling and shit. Yeah, that was fun. But I remember Virtual Fighter, like in the arcade, nothing really kind of topped that experience because like it was a technical fighter. It was like a technical fighter's technical fighter, and I remember it was one of those games. I remember because they had Wolf, and you know me in a fighting game. If there's a wrestler,
Yeah.
I'm gonna learn it because the wrestler's gonna be the most complicated one to learn. But once you can get his stuff and be like good with them, it's fucking over. You know what I mean? Like Zangief sucks if you don't know how to use him, but like if you know how to use him, he's very annoying to other people. So it's kind of like that with Wolf. But they had another dude named Jeffrey. He's a Jamaican dude, had dreads. He wasn't a wrestler, but he had a lot of wrestling moves, and I got real good with him. But that's a different story. But like I got really into those games. So like that was kind of my favorite 3D fighting games. I got a Dreamcast a little bit late, obviously, because I
had a Dreamcast. I still have my Dreamcast. It's sitting in the corner somewhere. But
I don't still have my Dreamcast, but I've bought at least 3 Dreamcasts in my life.
I've had the one the entire time.
Well, they're $40. It was like $40. So if I lost it, I didn't give a shit. Or if I gave it to someone, I didn't give a shit. And you can burn all the games, so it didn't really matter. You just had to buy.
I remember the most about that is that's when like ROM games, and burn became like the thing.
Because I remember like a friend of mine's dad, when I first got my Dreamcast, had like just given me like a couple of blank of just random discs that had like all the like Super Nintendo and Sega games on them, and I was like, oh my god,
This is crazy.
all I need when I'm not playing Sonic Adventure or Power Stone. This is what I'm gonna be playing.
Bro, that's exactly what it was, man. It was Power Stone, 100%. Like
Power Stone, yes.
my friend lived like 2 doors down from me, named David Quintero. I don't even think we're friends on Facebook. I don't know, but if you're watching it, shout out to David Quintero and your whole family. But he had a Dreamcast, and we used to go over there and play. And like, you know, even before like we smoked weed, it was like we just sat there and like it felt like we were getting stoned playing Power Stone all the time. Like that, like Power Stone 2. Like I feel like Power Stone 2 is what Super Smash Brothers still wishes it was. Like I get, maybe not now. I feel like Smash Brothers is its own defining thing that it does now.
Yeah.
But back then, I just feel like no one has grabbed that niche, that Power Stone. I mean, honestly, no one has really, like a third party has never like just owned a console. Like Capcom owned the Dreamcast to me.
Oh yeah.
Like everything I feel like everything Capcom made for the Dreamcast was just like arguably better than a lot of the Sonic or the Sega first party games for that. Project Justice Rival Schools. That game was fucking amazing.
I've never even heard of that.
Oh my god. I mean, like Rival Schools is easily like the 4th most popular fighting game series by Capcom.
What?
Maybe even 5th.
Wow.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
Okay, I mean, Street Fighter, obviously number 1 for Capcom. Darkstalkers, argue number 2 for Capcom fighters. I'd say Rival Schools would be number 3, or you could put Plasma Sword, whatever that franchise was. They're both like Dreamcast franchises that technically had games on Sega Saturn.
Oh, okay.
And then like, Virtual Fighter. No, that's Sega. Never mind. Hold on. I feel like there's one more Capcom fighting thing I'm missing. I don't know, but either way, they had a lot of different fighting game titles, and almost all of them were fun. All of them were different on the Dreamcast. Did you ever play Plasma Sword?
No, I did play Virtua Fighter though.
Okay, yeah, okay. Next time I'm in Chicago, I'll make sure that we burn, and we'll see if we can get like some kind of adapter and we can do a Dreamcast stream because I'm getting really just like excited talking about these games. Mm-hmm. It's been forever, but like Rival Schools, Project Justice, like check that out. It's like a 3-on-3 fighting game, but they're all like they're all from rival schools. Each school has like a different theme. So like one's like an art school, and the art school has like a violin player, a painter, and like a teacher. They all have like a couple of things in a teacher. So like there's like the school for athletes, and it's like a swimmer, a soccer player, a baseball player. a tennis player. Like if there's an anime that had this sport as its feature, there's probably one of them. Like that's what the world that it builds is like. They live in a major city, and like each school is like a specialty thing for anime. So there's like super mathematics one, and they're like, we get the angles, and like it's just like it's dumb. It's great. There's like a whole thing where it's like just a school administration, so it's like 4 like school administrators, and it's like weird. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'll check this out.
But yeah, that's that. And then fuck, man. Oh, another thing about the Dreamcast that always caught my eye. It was powered by a unique version of Microsoft Windows, if you remember that.
No, I don't remember
that. So if you pull up your old Dreamcast, like in the corner of it, it will be like powered by Windows CE, I think, or something like that pops up. And actually, when you do the startup after the Sega thing, it does like a little Windows thing pops up before you go to the little menu.
Okay, I'll do that this week.
So that's actually part of the reason it was so easy to like burn and code for, because it was just a modified version of Windows, which is why it was easy for ROM emulation. Another story for a different time. And then I remember like back in the day when you could rent consoles from like Blockbuster and stuff. I rented a PS2 and an Xbox to figure out which one I wanted to buy. I rented a PS2. I rented Final Fantasy X, and I rented. I think it was Tekken Tag Tournament. Now that I'm talking about it,
those are 2 good games.
Actually, I think it was Tekken 3. I think it was Tekken 3 because I don't think it was like launch. I don't think Tag Tournament was out yet.
Okay.
And it was a great game. However, I didn't know this at the time because I had Nintendo 64 and only cartridge-based consoles. You needed a memory card to play those games.
Yeah.
So I just played the first like hour and a half long cinematic and about 20 minutes of Final Fantasy before I would die and be stuck in that loop. So I didn't want to get a PlayStation. And I rented an Xbox, and I got Jet Set Radio Future.
Ooh.
And I don't even care what the other game was because I was buying it off of Jet Set Radio Future alone.
I mean, that game's iconic.
Like, and I realized back that it was like the fun, crazy gameplay style, that music, the art style, yeah. Like, and looking back on it, that was a Sega game. I bought an Xbox because of a Sega game. I also love that Xbox. That first Xbox, I think it slept on as a whole as a console. Mind you, Nintendo was dropping bangers for the GameCube at that time frame.
Yeah,
PS2 was killing
I'm a GameCube guy. Like
the PS2 was killing the
cable and all that, but this like I couldn't have both systems.
No, I get it. It's the same thing too, because like I feel like the PlayStation 2 and when they dropped they had those exclusives for Grand Theft Auto. Like, oh man, I felt like a big idiot, especially when Xbox lost the WWE rights, and so they just had like. Every year there was like a really good to solid SmackDown game coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I think we maybe got like 2 really shitty Raw games and one WrestleMania game that was made by the people that like left Mortal Kombat. So it was like 3 wrestling games that didn't really feel like wrestling games. One of them really felt like a broken fighting game, and like none of them were fun. And like. I mean, that's the whole thing about wrestling games. Like, probably why I've loved them since I can remember is they've always been create your dude, make his moves or whatever, and then go through the storyline. And if it's not fun to do, then like, what's the point?
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then fuck yeah, and then I got in the Yakuza series and I got into it because it was a PlayStation exclusive at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get the PlayStation because of it, but I did get into it because it was a PlayStation Plus game.
There you go.
And honestly, there hasn't been any video game series in my adulthood that I've liked more than Yakuza. If you want to get into it, just talk to me. I'll help you get into it.
I mean, the way you talk about it, I might, but like, I don't know.
I feel like if you're gonna interested in playing, like I would say if you wanted to kind of jump in fresh, like a Dragon jump in because it's like a good kind of reboot.
Mm-hmm.
You won't get like all of the cool like, oh, this is a cool Easter egg moment. Oh, that guy's from here. This guy's from there. Like those kind of moments you'll miss. But I feel like you'll get a real good appreciation for the game. And if you're like, oh, I like this a lot, and go back and play the old games, you'll get it there. You know what I mean?
Okay. Seems like it could be a plan.
But they're two very different games. Like this is a very different game than the.
Whenever I'm done with these Pokemon ROM hacks, whenever I'm done with my like Pokemon re-fandom craze that I'm doing right now, Like I'll maybe move on to that.
I'll be 100% with you. By the time you get over your Pokemon fandom craze and stuff that you're doing, they'll finally release a new one.
Oh, well, we'll see how many hours I put into Dark Rising this week. We'll figure it out.
All right. Should we talk about something before we get into recommendations, or should we just jump right into it? Matt looks like he's got something to say, but he also could just be looking up buttholes again.
No, not buttholes. So wait, yeah, recommendations, because I was reading in what I was going to say into my recommendation.
Okay, then.
Oh, you want me to kick off recommendations? All right, yeah. Cool. I got 2 recommendations this week. One, Boruto.
Oh.
Released chapter 20, I do believe. No, 52.
No, 52.
And the storyline is just hit a key moment. And also, Kishimoto is back on board writing.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was a big news this past week. Like they have switched mangakas. Like the original artist and author for Naruto is writing Boruto, and it's so much better. Can it be January 3rd already? Please.
No. I mean, in a way, yes.
Roman's just going in on you, Doug. That's great.
Okay, we need to have him back on the show where his audio does work. So
and he's wearing pants.
Yeah, dude, please wear pants next time you're on the show, though. That's real.
God, I don't see that.
This isn't your normal Zoom call.
All right. So was that your recommendation?
My recommendation was one, start reading Boruto again, because the original mangaka of Naruto is back on it. Also, within Shonen Jump, Sakamoto Days, #1. Read that.
Let's hope not. I don't think that's gonna happen, but
he's really not in the story if you've been reading. But thanks. Sakamoto Days.
I'm dying.
Zarek, me and you talked about a storyline that I think in a previous like Yakuza era movie that I think dovetails on like means that you will absolutely love Sakamoto Days.
Okay.
The cover is telling you literally everything.
Okay.
And scanner in his hand. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Please read it.
I'll check it out.
All right. All right. Recommendations I have for this week. I recommend anyone who's ever been a fan of Pokemon, if you haven't done a Nuzlocke, do a Nuzlocke challenge just for like a little more challenge in all of your Pokemon games, and just to refresh the rules. In a Pokemon Nuzlocke, you can only you have to catch the first Pokemon you encounter on each route. This rule comes into play after you get your Pokeballs. So then if Pokemon dies, you have to put it in your box and release it. It can never be used again. And and the last one is you nickname each Pokemon so you can build a better bond with it. And it will make your Pokemon gameplay that much harder and that more intensive because you have to strategize more to not lose your best Pokemon. You can literally lose the entire game if one trainer sweeps you, and it's happened. So it almost happened to me on my last playthrough. But
that wasn't at the end too.
What'd you say?
That was at the end too.
Yeah, I nearly got swept like on the champion fight. So like it was nerve-wracking as hell. Right now I'm doing my Soul Silver Nuzlocke, and I am doing some extra grinding before going up against the Elite Four, because I don't want that to happen again.
That's
all right. And I'll recommend this again because it is that good, because I just started reading it again. The Pokemon Adventures manga. It is so good. It's dark in places and so funny in other places, and like the art style is just it's such a joy to read. Like, do that.
I got 6 in.
You got 6 in, and then you got bored?
It's reading. It feels like I'm reading the television show.
Different.
Really? Okay. I'll maybe I'll keep going, but it's like I got to the gym battle with the woman, and her Staryu.
Oh yeah, Misty. Yeah.
Yeah.
The woman.
I did not watch this show like y'all did. It was background.
Well,
Which
she's
is
not
why
even
you're
like. It just makes me laugh because like when you say the woman, I don't think of the teenage girl in the group. I think of. Forget it.
Your point. Yeah. I also
Forget
know her ages. Yeah, I stopped there because I was expecting a door, but I guess it's later because like no Pokemon have died yet.
Oh yeah, it goes until a little later when you get into Team Rocket.
Okay, cool. Like they haven't even been mentioned yet. There's still just Red, Green, and Misty. Oh, and yeah, he beat Brock.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll keep reading. What else am I gonna do? Spend it.
There you go.
Really easy. I mean, you get Laku's like a dragon, but like never mind.
I mean, I'm on Red Dead right now.
Yeah, I still got to finish Red Dead. I'm in the epilogue.
You know, I've given up on Red Dead. I'll maybe get back to it eventually.
It's a choice.
It's just like it's like fun and engaging, but it's just like I don't always want to spend 4 hours because I feel like if I'm not playing more than like 2 or 3 hours at a time, it's not worth the loading screen.
Loading screen isn't even like that for me.
The opening loading screen, like when you first get into the game, it takes forever.
Oh yeah, but that's like what
You sitting there when that happens?
That's Rockstar's, yeah.
Like,
Or I could just play like games I want to play. I don't know.
I mean, choices.
Like honestly, I got tired of like the main story, and honestly what I did is I really got into hunting the legendary animals, and once I finished doing that, I was just like, I don't want to play this anymore.
Fair enough. That legendary crocodile is too much.
Dude, they're fun. They're fun as hell. I hate hunting in games, but those are very fun.
Cool.
All right, cool. So for my recommendation, yes, I'm gonna say get Yakuza Like a Dragon. Play that. It's like it's like I feel like I've had the fantasy of how do I adapt a fantasy something to modern ages, and I feel like it does that perfectly. It maps your white knights, your heroes, your mages, your paladins. It puts them in things that kind of make sense for Japanese culture, I assume. And like I can't play this game and not just think about how like I would love a version of this kind of story, the way that this feels, but it's like a pan-Caribbean game where you're like some kind of like island gangster and you have to go between like Cuba, Jamaica, and like other parts of the Bahamas, and like just this kind of similar wackiness, but just to like a nice like soca kind of like like reggae kind of like but like a 70s kind of sound. Like it's set like that kind of time frame.
Very niche.
Yeah, it'd be very like a very good vibe of like you know
Jamaica.
Kind of like when you're in like when you're in Kingston, you know, like you're in the city of Jamaica, like it feels different than like you're on the beaches or Ochos Rios or some of the more like spacious areas, or you have to do like a mission where you have to, you know, run something to Havana, and then when you're in Cuba, it's kind of like the Buena Vista Social Club, a lot of that kind of music, and you know, like the when you think of like 50s era Cuban mobster, like what does that make you think of versus, you know, your 60s era like Jamaican gangster and someone that's kind of just like running that area? Like would that not, I feel like that to be a great setting for a video game that I don't think we've ever seen.
Yeah, you're right.
Very much so.
Hasn't been done.
Like I feel like there's like a lot of things like that. Like I feel like with the way Assassin's Creeds are going right now, like I haven't played any of like the new ones, but I know that they're like really big and expansive. Like I really do feel like they're, especially now that they're dipping their toes into mythology, that they're really missing out if they don't do a Assassin's Creed set in India using the old Hindu mythologies. Like they'd be missing out on some really great shit there.
Oh yeah, but that'd be like creative and different.
But we gotta have Vikings again.
Yeah, and non-white.
More Vikings and Greek people, please.
Not like there's a big old African country bigger than 3/4 of most countries.
Has the craziest natural landscapes that you could get in and do stuff.
Has a
natural
huge
resources.
Technology.
Yeah, huge. Well, that's the thing is if they
Here we go.
if they were to ever truly do that, if they were ever to truly give African mythology, and I say this too for Native American, if they ever did something that was truly based on African or Native American based mythologies, they'd have to acknowledge that there's different cultures within those things. That the one set of African fables are not the whole set of African fables. That, like, a Nazi the spider is not the same as like I'm trying to think of another African fable from a different part of Africa right now, but they're not the same. That's pretty much what I'm looking for.
God, they're not the same.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, that means yes, exactly.
And so I think that's where the problem would be like a. No, absolutely, man. When they said origins, I absolutely thought they were going to be more brown.
Nope.
I mean, yes, I can get the arguments that like historically Cleopatra wasn't brown because she was from Greece and came in from Rome as Mark Antony's lover or whatever the fuck you want to say. But like,
Get the hell out of here.
that's not like what the people were though. Like,
I was not even what?
What is
it's
that?
the other way. Well, first of all, Matt, you are correct. That argument is incorrect.
Okay.
The truth. I've seen people say this. I'm just quoting like dumb people saying shit. If anything, Cleopatra was a native Egyptian. Mark Antony was the white dude coming in.
Yeah, right.
From Rome. That was her lover. But that's a different thing.
Okay.
But anyway, for my recommendations, play Yakuza, and because the weather is getting cold, may I recommend starting your morning off with a nice bowl of oatmeal. Get yourself a cup of oatmeal, a cup and a half of water. Let that boil. I like to do a little bit of frozen blueberries. I'll put them in a separate bowl. After my oatmeal is cooked, I like to mix up my blueberries into it so the frozen blueberries kind of get to temperature. I'll take like a teaspoon of brown sugar and a little bit of maple extract. Mix that up, and that's a great way to start your morning.
There you go.
And your day well too.
And your day well.
Get your roughage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Roman, I know you have a suggestion. 100% know you were on a suggestion. You're gonna have to wait till you're guest again for you to actually say it though.
Oh,
all right.
And I suggested that last week anyway. So,
all right. Well, that being said, we have been the Melanated Anime Club. We have been talking for too long. I got a little bit too excited about Sega stuff.
yeah.
That went on a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but here we are. All right. Well, if you want to be a guest, Roman, you know how to reach out to us. Just reach out. We'll put you on. There's another One Piece next week, so if you want to do the One Piece review, read it, holler at us. We'll get you on.
Yeah.
Or if you want to save it to January 3rd and just like really get them, that also works. Because January 3rd, because we haven't forgot January 3rd. If you want to, but wait, January 3rd. I'm gonna make a big thing. We'll do a bigger thing where we just like January 3rd. Because we want people to see.
But like, does it need to be a big thing?
Yeah.
Both of y'all didn't have to say it in unison at the same time.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we did. All right. Well, we have been the Melanated Anime Club. We have Venmos and stuff. Give us money if you want to. I'll go ahead and pop those up real quick. This is Matt's stuff. This is Wes's stuff. And this is my stuff if you want to pay us. If you don't, that's cool. Keep your money. It's a global pandemic. No one's mad at you. That being said, we are the Melanated Anime Club. Do some good for someone else out there in the world. If you can't help someone else, help yourself. All of that good stuff. Take it easy. Don't stress out too much. It is a Thanksgiving week. So, if you have loved ones and stuff, hang out with them. Roman hates you for real. That's not true, but there's some truth to it, I guess. We've been the Melanated Anime Club. Y'all been great. We'll see you next week.
バカみたい子供なのね夢を追って傷ついて嘘が下手なくせに笑えない笑顔見せた I love you もろくに